Chapter 2, Mishnah 6. Like the first half of this chapter, the second half also compares and contrasts one item with another. However, none of these comparisons involve Bikkurim. This Mishnah deals with the laws of an esrog. For halachic purposes, it is necessary to identify the year to which certain produce belongs. For example, if produce started growing in the second year of the Shemitah cycle, but it is picked in the third year, we need to determine whether it is second-year produce, from which Meiser Sheni must be separated, or third-year produce, from which Meiser Ane must be separated. In general, the determining factor for fruit is when they start to grow, but the determining factor for vegetables is when they are picked. Thus, for example, if fruit and vegetables begin to grow in the second year, but were picked in the third year, the fruit would be attributed to the second year, but the vegetables would be attributed to the third year. The esrog is a special case. The Mishnah teaches that in some respects, the year of an esrog is determined by when it starts to grow, like fruit, and in some respects, the year is determined by when it is picked, like vegetables. We now turn to the words of the Mishnah. An esrog is like the fruit of a tree in 3 ways, and it is like vegetables in 1 way. It is like the fruit of a tree with respect to the prohibition of orla, which states that the fruit of a tree's first 3 years may not be eaten or used for any other benefit. Thus, if an esrog starts to grow during a tree's first 3 years, it is subject to the prohibition of orla, even if it is picked in the 4th year, because regarding orla, we follow the year of the esrog's growth, as is the case with fruit, and not the year in which it is picked, as is the case with vegetables. Similarly, an etrog is like the fruit of a tree with respect to the law of Revei, which states that the fruit of a tree's 4th year must be eaten in Jerusalem. Thus, if an esrog starts to grow during a tree's 4th year, it must be eaten in Jerusalem even if it is picked in the 5th year, because regarding Revei, we follow the year of the esrog's growth, like fruit, and not the year in which it is picked, like vegetables. Similarly, it is like the fruit of a tree with respect to the laws of Shemitah. For example, the requirement to leave Shemitah produce free for anyone to take, and the prohibitions against destroying Shemitah produce or using it for business purposes. Thus, if an etrog starts to grow during the 6th year of the Shemitah cycle, it is treated as ordinary non-Shemitah produce, even if it is picked during Shemitah, because regarding Shemitah, we follow the year of the esrog's growth, like fruit, and not the year in which it is picked, like vegetables. However, it is like vegetables in 1 way, because with respect to its tithing, i.e. separating trumas and maasros, we go by when it is picked. Thus, for example, if an etrog starts to grow in the 2nd year of the 7-year Shemitah cycle, but is picked in the 3rd year, it is attributed to the 3rd year, when Meiser Ani must be separated, rather than to the 2nd year, when Meiser Sheni is separated, because regarding tithes, we go by the year in which the etrog is picked, like vegetables, and not the year in which it starts to grow, like fruit. These are the words of Rabban Gamliel. But Rabbi Eliezer says, an esrog tree is similar to the fruit of a tree in every respect, even trumas and maasros. Therefore, an etrog tree that started to grow in the 2nd year, but was picked in the 3rd year, is attributed to the 2nd year, and must have Meiser Sheni separated from it.